CJJ, and we have Sherri Proud here, the director of Park and Rec for the city of Coralville. And I've got all these notes here, and I dropped them, and so I don't know what order.
Good morning. Yes.
I stapled mine, Steve.
and I, coming off of Fourth Fest and everything, there's probably more notes there than just their Sherri notes. Don't forget to talk about this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How are you?
We're doing okay.
Good.
Yeah,
you guys have good 4th of July festivity?
It was pretty good.
Fun?
Yeah, stayed at home basically.
Okay,
But, yeah, it was okay. Watched a bunch of uplifting Law and Order Special Victims Unit.
There you go.
We got, by the way, we have storms surrounding us, and they should be coming our way within the next.
You said Coralville. It was raining in Coralville when you left.
Right. When I left Coralville, we were getting a good rain.
Okay. Well, we need the rain. We don't need any severe. It doesn't look like there's going to be any severe as well.
So how did things go for the 4th?
I think we were really pleased. Yeah, we had to make a couple adjustments. Our main headline band, got their bus broke down.
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, bus broke down in Paducah, Kentucky. They got on the road. It broke down again in Kentucky.
Oh.
And then they got on the road again. And then a third time they just called it quits. Yeah, it just said, we are not going to make it. So
yeah, because the official email that came out said travel issues.
Yes,
and,
yes.
A lot of times when they say scheduling conflicts and stuff like that, you never know what is. But that I can understand why they said, you know what, third time's the charm. We did our best, but sorry.
Right, but our and I'm just all of a sudden blanking on our their band Heart, not Charity Heart. Isn't that funny? It's just a few days ago, and
I'll find it.
Yeah, thank you for helping me.
I had it.
Chapel was it
Chapel Heart?
Chapel Heart.
Thank you, Chapel Heart. Boy, oh boy, they stepped in, did a really nice show. I enjoyed them a lot. Had not heard their music.
Well, they're performing all the time at the Grand Ole Opry.
Yeah, they did a great job.
It's not like it's a beginner band or something.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of our staff members, we were asked to make phone calls and find somebody to be a warm up act, and local artist Brian Johansson stepped up, and he and his guitar and wit entertained the crowd as our warm-up band. So, resiliency in our community and pivoting and just doing what it takes.
I would have played my harmonica.
There you go. We could have had you on.
Well, it's been a long time since you pulled that out.
Yeah. But a good turnout for the parade, good turnout for the fireworks. Everybody had a great time.
Listen, because, Jan's difficulties now, we couldn't make it out to fireworks. We always make it out to the fireworks. But you streamed it on YouTube, and it was so cool because with my remote control, I could move the camera around. I don't know how. Do you know how they do that?
No, that's not my department.
I can't. It was so cool to be able to do that and get a.
Yeah, we just can't wrap our heads around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are you? Well, you're screwing up everybody else's view. Why are you guys all fighting with the camera?
Yeah.
No.
So they're on the top of the Aquatic Center Tower. Where they shoot from. We do open the doors for them to get up there and get some great views. But that's where they shoot from. They've been doing that for quite a number of years.
It was wonderful to be able to experience it like that. So thanks.
Yes, well, that's wonderful. Yeah. Well, Fourth Fest's over, so you know what that means. We got to roll into Fifth Street Social.
Yeah, that's a fun event.
Very fun event. If you haven't been out to Fifth Street Social, mark your calendar. Saturday, August 9th.
Where's this located?
4 to 10 p.m. We start 6th Avenue, we go on 5th Street from 6th Avenue to 12th Avenue in Coralville. Great, we were reminiscing of the days when we did street dances in Coralville, when it was historic Route 6, and still is historic Route 6, but they did street dances reaching back into the 1930s. And it was a gathering spot. It was a place for people to come together, foods, picnics, music, just everything going on. And then, going into the 60s and 70s when street dances were really popular, that's when they had a lot of those on Fifth Street. So when we celebrated the Fifth Street, that end of Fifth Street, I should say, we're now doing new phases of Fifth Street, but that end of Fifth Street was redone in 2016. We held a street dance to celebrate, and
that's pretty cool.
And decided, this is really cool. Let's keep happening it. So this is our 7th year, and just really having a great time with it. Block party type atmosphere, free family fun, and we just try to keep a lot of things going for all kinds of people. And if you don't want to be right down by the main stage, we've got a great kids zone on one end to a classic car show and shine on the other end. So we really just spread everything out, and hope that people come to enjoy a nice night in August, celebrating summer almost coming to a close and the school year starting off.
You got food vendors out there and beverage vendors.
Yes.
Because it's cordoned off, so once you're in, you're all able to walk around and have a beer or whatever you want to drink and hear the bands, and like you said, the kids get to have fun and everything. It's a fun time, and I love looking at the classic cars too.
Yes, Beverage Garden goes all the way from 6th Avenue to 9th Avenue, and so and that's where our food vendors, our main food vendors are. Our main stage is at, our kids zone is at one end of that, which I have a lot of parents tell me how much they appreciate the fact that they can grab a beer and then sit and watch their kids in the kids zone. It's one of the biggest kids zones around at the festivals. We have a lot of groups come out and do, fun activities with the kids, and you've got West Music has what they call the petting zoo, the instrument petting zoo, but everybody gets to try those instruments. You've got booths from the public library. We've got the paint, brush and barrel does a paint, kids get to paint. You've got the Iowa Children's Museum does always a fun activity, fire engines and police cars, and just a lot going on. Park and Rec booth. Yeah. Live music on the main stage. From 4 to 6:30 that evening, we have Rory Brownell, and from 7:15 to 10 o'clock, we have Fox Hill Troubadours. Rory is from the Grinnell area, and Fox Hill Troubadours are out of Solon. So we're really going local this year.
That's cool.
And going to have a great time there on the main stage, and then down at the intersection of 10th Street and 10th Avenue and 5th Street, there by U.S. Bank. Is our second stage, and another local band called Heavy Index out of the Coralville North Liberty area will be playing 5 to 7:30. So lots of opportunities for music. You can bring your lawn chairs, you can bring your dancing shoes, singing voices, whatever you'd like to bring, and enjoy that live music. And then I talked about Kids Zone already, and then something new this year down by the intersection, at the intersection of 5th Street and 10th Avenue, we have what we're calling the Games and Dessert Zone. So we'll have outdoor yard games, board games area with Mindbridge Foundation. They bring their board games and tables and tents and set those up there. And then we also have several dessert vendors at that location.
So, I like desserts.
Yeah, I like desserts too. One of them is a donut, like one of those where they make the donuts right in front of you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I think I would like to visit that one. And it's okay because I usually get about 30,000 steps in that day. So
I would imagine you do.
I can have some donuts.
I get about 20 or 30, and I'm going to have a donut anyway.
And then you talked about the classic car show and shine, but
I love the classic car shows that they put on here.
Yes, they do a wonderful job. And it's so fun because all of the owners, stick right around their cars and set up, their lawn chairs. And
they're real proud of what they got.
Yeah, get to talk to them about if they bought it or if they restored it. It's really fascinating to hear the restoration processes.
I got a classic car. It's not old or anything, but it's the only car I've owned that I haven't wrecked as yet.
Okay. Classic car. And then you talked about celebrating our local brewers. So we have Back Pocket represented, Reunion Brewery, Big Grove Brewery, all represented, as well as Wilson's Orchard with their hard cider. So a little something for everyone, and we're still looking for a few more food vendors, and those applications are actually due today. So if you have a food truck and want to take a look at our website there for the 5th Street Social, you can maybe still get in on that action. Cash and card are welcome. We went to card last year, and that made things a little bit easier on our ticket takers.
I'll bet.
Worked well, yeah.
I mean, people don't carry a lot of cash anymore.
Right. And so we were kind of like back and forth on that for a number of years, and finally figured out, we figured out a way to make, of course, hotspots make it a lot easier to go with. And we invested as a city in Square. And we're all very familiar now with Square, and that in 23 we invested in that system for us. So made it really easy for us to roll into becoming cashless in some ways, but we still take cash. We can do cash or card at 5th Street Social. Of course, volunteers are what makes something like this happen, and they just do a wonderful job of greeting and welcoming our guests at our entry points, monitoring our games, selling our beverage tickets, pouring brews, helping set up, helping tear down. We put this together after we have to wait until a certain bus goes by. I think it's at 11:40 a.m. and then we set that street up and roll in that sound check about 1:30 in the afternoon. And then when music goes off promptly at 10, because we're in a residential neighborhood, so we want to make sure that we're respectful of that. And we are usually out of there about 12:15, 12:30 in the morning. So it all happens in about 13 hours. Put it together and take it down and have fun in between. Go to our website, www.coralville.org/5th Street Social.
And it's free to get in, right?
Free to get in, yeah. The kids zone is free. I think there's a free will donation for the face painting station. Otherwise, kids zone is free. The game station's free. You just bring food and beverage money, and you're ready to go. Yeah.
And a ton of food.
Yeah. Good choices.
Now you got the School of Rock being performed.
Yeah. Have you seen that?
I've seen the movie.
You've seen the movie. So it's based on the movie, plus they have 14 additional original songs by Andrew Lloyd Webber, which he just astounds me, the vast array of musicals he's written and how different they all are.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that would be an Andrew Lloyd Webber production.
Yes. So he is the writer, and it is playing at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts July 18th through the 20th and July 25th through the 27th. So coming up here, not this weekend, but the 2 weekends after. And Evan Hilseback, the managing director there at the Coralville Center for the Performing Arts, always writes up a nice little paragraph for me to read. I always enjoy those. But so this one's Rock Got No Reason, Rock Got No Rhyme. You Better Get Me to School on Time. Based on the hit movie Andrew Lloyd Webber's School of Rock, follows wannabe rock star Dewey Finn on his quest to turn a class of prep school kids into a battling winning band. Featuring all the favorite songs from the original movie and 14 new ones from Webber, this rocking good time is a loving testament to the transforming power of music. I was listening to the soundtrack last night, and I think it's a lot of fun. And of course, I always advocate for, some days it's pretty darn hot here in Iowa. And there's nothing better than sitting in a nice, dark, cool theater and enjoying a great show on stage. This is put on by City Circle Acting Theater, and they have just done some wonderful shows over the year, and I'm expecting nothing less out of this one.
There's
Looking forward to it.
There's not a bad seat in that theater.
No, it was built very well.
Yeah,
very. Performing Arts Theaters was our consultant on that, and they did a wonderful job.
Acoustics are great, too.
Thank you. We tried to do a good job.
Find out how they move that camera around.
Okay, I will. I'll go back and ask John Hines. That's Choral Vision's area.
And then where do you get tickets for that?
Yeah, you can go online to coralvillearts.org, or you can stop in anytime we have a show, an hour before the show, as well as we have some times that we're in the lobby there in the afternoon. You can go online to coralvillearts.org and find that out.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So what are your, obviously The Parks Department's always busy during the summer.
They are.
Had the park all beautiful for the Fourth Fest and everything. What else did they do for the rest of the summer?
Yeah, so we're, beyond that, just they're always busy with those streetscapes. I thought the streetscapes right now looked particularly wonderful, and the flowers are all looking really great. Fields, we're still in the thick of ball season, and that goes really until around the beginning of August, and then there's a short break, and then we have fall season. But as we roll closer to August, we start making those important inspections in our community that we're responsible for, so that we can start getting notices out to homeowners. And one of those is that we inspect the tree limb height. If you're along a street, particularly a busy street where our transit system goes, we want to make sure that those tree branches are up 15 feet above street level. And the reason we do that during the summertime and start to get those notices out is that, the leaves kind of start to weigh those branches and they dip. And once those leaves are gone, they come up again a little bit. So if you do it in the winter, you're limbing up maybe a little bit too high, but if you're doing it in the summertime, you really have an accurate view of how that's going. Garbage trucks drag on buses, delivery vehicles, so we want to keep those up above the street level, but also think about just keeping our streets safe and light filtering through and street lights filtering through. We want to make sure everyone's comfortable walking throughout the community. We also ask our residents to limb up their tree limbs 9 foot above sidewalks. So keep a nice clear view as you go down through all of our sidewalks and trees above street level, and makes for a nicer, safer community.
I think one of the reasons we don't have any problems with our internet in our neighborhood is everyone has cut the trees.
Oh. Need to plant a few more.
Well, a lot, but I mean cut the trees so
trimmed
that they
them.
weren't.
Trimmed them,
not cut them.
Oh, got it. Well, I'll always advocate for planting more, but yeah, I get. Yeah. I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
No, we've got trees wonderful trees in the neighborhood.
Keep them trimmed up. Yeah.
People that I talked to one of the installers for MediaCom, and he said, if people would trim the trees up, they wouldn't be calling us all the time saying their internet's down.
That's a good thing to know. And a lot of homeowners, don't realize that that's their responsibility to limb up those trees and keep their foliage back from sidewalks. So I like to talk about that usually about once a year, whether it's here with you guys or out in the community at some of my speaking engagements, but it is a homeowner responsibility. And the way we handle that in Coralville is we hang a door knocker on the door. If that doesn't catch someone's attention, we give them usually 2 weeks to do their trimming. If that doesn't catch their attention, we'll send a letter. If that doesn't catch attention, then you get a certified letter, and that's when we go into
so you're doing business.
Yeah, that's when we're into the real more strict, stringent business. Yeah. And just last, we're just a reminder that Coralville celebrates the National Night Out program. The Coralville Police Department puts that on, and neighborhoods can come together and put on a block party on August 5th. And it can be anywhere from people just saying, hey, our block party's here and we're all going to come out in our lawn chairs and be out, or some neighborhoods do food, some neighborhoods do dessert. One neighborhood I know contracts with an ice cream truck, and they just have an ice cream truck come and everyone can buy their own ice cream. But yeah, it takes organizing, somebody going to the Coralville.org/National Night Out, or to the website for Coralville.org, and you'll find it. But you register your block party, and then our streets department will show up and drop off cones and barricades so you can have, a safe space in your street to do that. And then our police, our fire department, and our city council go around and visit all of the block parties. So it's a great way to get to know not only our police officers they come around with their trading cards and their goodie bags and just a lot of fun things that they have going on, play games with the kids, but also our fire department comes out and brings the engines around, which you can then get up close and personal with, which they're fascinating. And Now I think our last engine we bought was over $1 million. So it's really kind of interesting to look at those pieces of equipment up close. And then our city council, of course, comes out and you get to meet and greet and ask questions of our city council. So it's just a great way to interact with the community. National Night Out, Tuesday, August 5th. And register your party there at coralville.org/National Night Out.
Yeah, and having a closely knit neighborhood is great for crime prevention because basically people keep a watch out on each other and like, hey, I'm going to be gone for a week, keep an eye out on my property, or, if somebody's haven't seen somebody in a couple of days, call for a welfare check or something like that. Just little things like that. It just makes it easy. Now, I don't really have to worry about being safe because I'm literally a stone's throw from the police department. There's not a lot of shenanigans going on around in my neighborhood.
That's right. But it's good to know your neighbors, good to get to know everyone, and in so many ways.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
This is a great way to start that. If that's not going on in your neighborhood, get something started.
Okay, now I understand that you and Kelly are going on RAGBRAI.
We are not. We're not on the same teams, though.
Okay.
His team rides way too fast for me.
It was sad when Fourth Fest got over and they're moving out the carnival and he's standing there crying.
Just one more cotton candy.
That's great. He wants to ride those rides one more time. So we'll delay and be here with you the 31st if that's okay with you.
Anytime.
Yeah.
You're welcome here
always welcome.
anytime.
All right. Well, thanks a lot for being here. And again, you can find out all about the city at coralville.org.
Thank you.
Mighty 1630 KCJJ.
KCJJ.